Jackham.
All right, James, let's talk about this is the education piece of the show that I enjoy. And I think it's important because, a lot of people we go, hey, what's keeping you on a sideline? Some people might be, well, closing costs, right? Cost. And I get it. Outside of interest rate, maybe that is what it is. So let's break down. And this is more of a did you know segment. And realtors, it's okay. If you don't, get your pen out. I know a lot of you listen. I know a lot of you out there are listening. So write this down because I'm also challenging all my listeners before you hire that next realtor, ask them these questions that I'm about to give. Ask your realtor if they know that. Because this week I had two realtors. One was in Florida. The old, never heard of that. We don't do that in Florida. Okay. I lend in Florida all the time. Yes, you do. Right? So here we go. Let's start with the greatest loan type out there, and that is a VA loan. VA, you're the best. You're rock stars.
VA stands for Veterans Affairs.
Yes. Yes. So VA loan, if you're a veteran, you get 4% of the contract price, right, towards your closing costs. 4% of the sales price. So on a $200,000 loan, $8,000 can go towards your closing costs.
I mean, you say can, so your closing costs aren't necessarily going to be $8,000. That's a cap.
Yes, that is capped.
Okay,
correct.
Is it usually right up to the cap or somewhere close to it? Or
yeah, I mean, it right now, especially in our market, with insurances as high as they are. Yes, it is because insurance is higher than it's ever been. So again, let's have the seller pay this. So we talk about, hey, how do we win in this market? Don't go insult the seller that's selling a house for $200,000 and tell them you want $185,000 and them to pay closing costs and see what they say. Because paying $200,000, and we've done this a million times. Go to YouTube, type in Mortgage Gumbo, go listen to our past shows. We've done it a million times and tell you how many thousands and years it takes to recoup your money. If you go and get the house that's $200,000 and you're bragging about it to your friends that you got it for $190,000, but you paid your own closing costs, you lost. Especially in this market when you're going to have to refinance. So VA is 4%. FHA. Let's face it, FHA sometimes, hey, a little bit more challenged with credit. So an FHA program, 6%. 6% of your closing costs and prepaids. That's the same for rural development. Rural development, not only is it 100% down payment, 100%, no down payment, 100% financing, you get up to 6% in seller paid closing costs. Had a realtor this week had a customer working with another realtor. That lender had them in an FHA loan. Well, guess what? They qualified for a rural development loan. This is a first-time home buyer. She's a young nurse just starting out. So if she'd have went with this other lender on this $219,000 deal, she was going to not only pay 3.5% on that, they had her no closing costs. She switched over to us. She got no down payment, and she got her closing costs paid. It's over $15,000 in difference. And if you're out there listening and you don't think you could use an extra $15,000, just send a check to mortgagegumbo.com. That's what we can't get wrong right now, especially first-time home buyers. That's what we don't want to get wrong. So FHA and rural development, 6%. So on a $200,000 loan, that's $12,000. You know what it costs you to ask? $0, right? And they're going to look at that offer when you're offering full price. They're going to like that offer. But negotiate your closing costs more than anything, because then guess what? Then you could use them to buy down your rate. You could use that for a buy down. We get the seller to pay the buy down for you. Okay? And then lastly, conventional loans. How many of you listening know you can go buy an investment property over in Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and you could get 2% of your closing costs paid by the seller.
1 minute.
2% on a conventional loan. If you put down a down payment of 3% to 10%, it's 3% seller paid contributions. 10% to 25% is 6%, and then 25 plus 9%. Folks, don't give away your money. You've worked way too hard. If you want to chat more about it, visit snapsendandsave.com or give me a call. My home away from the show is mortgagegumbo.com or 504-207-7600.